So on Friday, April 10th, we're going to get the consumer price index numbers for the month of March. Everyone is already projecting and expecting large increases in the data because of the increase in the cost of energy that has been caused by the war in Iran. Now, no doubt the Trump administration will blame the rise in prices on Iran as Trump continues to press the Federal Reserve for interest rate cuts. The problem with blaming all the price increases on Iran is that we already had bad signals on inflation from February before the war even started. Now, if you look at the February CPI data, it came in line with expectations at 2.4%, even though I think that's misleading and inaccurate. Not to mention, it's also 20% over the Fed's target of 2%. The Trump administration is acting like inflation's all under control. But if you look at the February PPI numbers and the import export price increases, we can see that inflation was already moving up before the Iran war was even an issue. So that just means that whatever negative data that comes out Friday was already going to be bad, but the war in Iran just exacerbated it. So what is the PPI? The PPI is the Producer Price Index, and it measures the change in prices and cost of producers to provide goods, services, and construction. It includes almost all goods producing industries like mining, manufacturing, agricultural, etc. And increases in the PPI tend to precede increases in the CPI because it represents inflationary pressures on businesses and producers before they hit consumers, before they're passed along to where you are paying higher prices. Now, similarly, the increase in the import-export prices means it costs more to bring in the raw materials, components, and machinery that are required to produce those goods. And it actually reflects like broad-based inflation rather than just being isolated to a specific sector of the economy. And remember, this data that was released in March reflects the increases in February. The war in Iran wasn't launched until February 28, and these numbers are bad. Like the PPI was up 0.7%. So if you annualize that, that's 8.4%. And the import-export numbers are even worse. Like, if you look at this post from Peter Schiff, the import prices were up 1.3% month over month, and the export prices 1.5%. So this shows that we're already facing serious inflation issues prior to the huge spike in oil. So now our inflation problem is going to be even worse. This is not good, especially when you factor in that our economy is stagnating and the Treasury is going to be trying to refinance approximately $8 to $9 trillion of U.S. debt this year, all while other countries are starting to offload U.S. Treasuries. Now, I'm not trying to be an alarmist. I'm just letting you know that when Donald Trump blames the huge spike in inflation on Iran, he's misleading you, and our inflation issues are far from being resolved. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and comment.